Folks.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. How we doing, everybody? AOE. Woo! It's game day, baby. How we doing, everybody? I got Tom in the back. You already know Fantastic Fatman on the ones and twos. And I think we have someone here helping us cast today. Go ahead and let it be known. Acolyte. Can you hear?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh.
I am back, ready to bring you guys some exciting AOE action tonight. So let's go.
Yeah, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and see what's going on with the lobby right quick. One moment. Yes, sir.
Sounds like I'm hearing you guys okay through stream. You guys are picking me up okay on stream.
Yes,
Weird
sir.
here, guys. Over again. There we go. I think that sounds like it's good.
That sounds like it's good. I'm humming in your ears.
Sure are, my friend. We are set up and ready to see the sunny side matchup. Varsity versus JV right here. The Grizzly Slayers
Oh no,
taking
no.
down the varsity team.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That's the second match. That was oh, there you go. Sorry about that. I apologize. The first one is actually Grizzly versus Free Agents. We gotta wait for we gotta hold our horses for the Grizzly Slayers.
Yeah, we gotta wait for that Southeast Fresno shakedown. So Grizzly Gaming taking on the free agents right here. I mean, on paper, we have an idea of what is going to happen, but as we've seen before, you never know what's going to happen in these best of ones.
No, we don't. I mean, we saw what's it called? The Boomer Boys definitely come out of the gate strong, which you are a part of alongside with Tom here, who I have, and we also saw Grizzly Gaming, aka GZG. They definitely got stunned by Sunnyside JV. They were able to recuperate up against Varsity though, so we'll see what they have in store for free agents.
Yeah, and part of that comes down to I think we have a little bit of a longer season than we anticipated. You know, going through 10 rounds, doing the double round robin. If we had the single round robin, I can see each draft being so much more crucial. But Grizzly Gaming, we're experimenting a little bit, putting their bot laner on something other than a traditional AD carry, and just kind of playing around with their team. They're still trying to figure out what works best for them, as a lot of these teams are continuing to do.
Most definitely. I mean, it is a double round robin, so they will face each other one more go around, and then it'll definitely be into the playoffs. Basically, everyone's fighting for seeding, and then also trying to see how well they play up against each team. How you feeling so far about the season? Who's your top dogs besides yourself?
Oh, you took my answer away, man. Grizzly Gaming, definitely the number one to go out of. I mean, you got El Oso, who's been in pretty much every single finals throughout AOE, besides I think one draft. We also have Alberto, who's considered one of the best players mechanically in the league. T4D role swapping a little bit, but Hostile Avocado, aka Spicy Guac, is widely regarded as one of the premier top laners in the league as well. So Grizzly Gaming, they want to go up there, but I've been seeing a lot of improvement from some of these teams. I don't want to leak too much, but throughout the scrims, we see some teams coming together, and all they have to do is find one or two more finalized pieces to round out their teams, and they're going to be very scary competitors as well.
100%. Tom, I know you're in this. I know you're listening. What you thinking about these teams?
The unfortunate part, Bringetta won't be able to hear me, but I'm super excited. I think GZG on paper should just clean up this game pretty quickly. In terms of like free agents, I don't think that they're going to be able to adapt quick enough because it is a best of one. So I think it's gonna go pretty one-sided. In terms of the next game after, though, oh man, I'm super hyped for that one. I want JV to beat Varsity so bad, just because I think about it from like a traditional standpoint, or a traditional sport standpoint, where it's like, if the JV team is being the Varsity team, that's a pretty huge upset. So really looking forward to that one.
Yep, and Acolyte, just to let you know, Uh, he did answer, but unfortunately, we have a different mic setup, so I don't think you really caught that unless you were listening to the stream.
I turned on the stream to hear it, man. I made sure I heard that answer.
There you go, there you go. And we already have Pro Draft sitting in the background, going through, and then the bands came out. First pick was picked up, and it was Tristana for GZG. GZG is on blue side, free agents is on red side. Fantastic Fatman with the graphics is correct this time. And it looks like they respond with Jin. What are you guys thinking about this?
So taking a look at this from a previous perspective, I mean, looking at bans straight out the gate, you have Shen, Zillion, and Fiora. So two big pickaways from Hostile Avocado, and also taking T4D off of his claim to fame, the Zillion pick. On the other side, you know, Darius being that top lane ban going on to the free agent side. That's kind of like a top lane bully that they just don't want to deal with, it looks like. Wukong also very scary. I believe the jungler does play a little bit of Wukong and Graves, so I'm not so sure about comfort picks. I think a lot of times what people in AOE do is they target ban too much and they don't ban enough to kind of round out the comp that they want to run. So I'd like to see that grow as the season moves forward. People banning away things that are going to shut down their team comp instead of just targeting so much on the players individually. But Tristana, big pick away. That is Chezzy's basically number 180 carry right here. And they figured, okay, instead of trying to ban Chezzy, we're just going to pick the Tristana away from him.
Yeah, 100% well said, and I definitely agree with you. AOE, it looks like our meta is definitely changing around. They're no longer fully one man banning. I think Baking Yummy went ahead and proved all that wrong. Here we go. We already got responses. Dang, those were quick responses. Braum and Kale on the side of free agents, and Morgana picked up. That Lee Sin though is definitely telling me El Oso is gonna go super aggressive. Let me go ahead and switch up the mic so you can hear him. Tom, what you got to say about this? Yeah.
For the draft, I think it looks pretty good. I like how free agents have a quick response to that already. I mean, I love it when I see it because, again, it's just great to know that they're preparing. And you'll see, and for those of you that, I mean, I don't think you guys can see it on the Discord. I should. Or I think I did leave it open this time, so you can see the people in the Discord preparing. And free agents is always that team that's in there like hours before, usually not this time, but usually preparing for the games. And again, I love seeing that kind of thought and preparation being put in. It just makes me feel like they actually care about the game. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, so the second round of bans, what's kind of interesting right here is they pick Kale, they can flex Kale into the mid lane or the top lane. And usually what you like to see with that last pick going into the second round of bans, banning away counters to your champion. They're flexing the Morgana pretty hard, I believe. Morgana has been seen, I don't think I'm going to see it in the jungle. That's been kind of like a meme pick. But we have seen Morgana in the mid lane from China, using that kind of like as a lane priority person, maybe that supportive mid laner, and that fits T4D's playstyle. I mean, support main going mid, let's put him on a support champ.
I think you're saying you're speaking to the choir. Is that the response for that? I 100% agree. Morgana in the mid lane definitely sounds correct. Oh man, what would be picked up into the support realm? That was a Karma ban, by the way. Stream, the one that was missed. They went ahead and said Karma, and it was accepted. There we go. And then in response, Blitzcrank. Ooh, they going aggressive. Blitzcrank, Jin combo.
Oh, wait, is that right? Blitz is Vel'Koz. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say that Blitz Braum. I didn't quite know where that was going. Is that Jungle Braum? Halo Blades Jungle Braum to land those stun ganks? But nah, that's gonna be a Vel'Koz. So that's probably a Vel'Koz mid and a Kale top. That means they're saving their jungle pick for last to kind of round out their comp. And we see a Volibear coming out into the top lane. They're probably going to be playing that into the Kale. Twisted Fate going into the Vel'Koz. So Vel'Koz does have that kind of range pressure onto the Twisted Fate, but as long as T4D can control that lane and dodge those skill shots, he's going to come out, I think, the victor in terms of putting that pressure on the map.
100%. Let's see. We should start. We should jump right into this. See, all right, got it going. So as far as team comps go, Tom, you want to go ahead and speak on it a little bit on what you're feeling is the most dominant one?
Team comp wise.
Yeah.
Ah man, I'm liking Volibear. Like Volibear is just a strong pick. So if Kale gets to go through the early game, I think it's going to be a really good chance for free agents. But it looks like GZG is taking that more high execution team play, and I like to see that. I want to see it be very clean and just try and dominate early and not let Kale get through that early game phase. And I think they're going to be pretty good. So I put it on GZG with a better team comp early, but I think that I think Vel'Koz and Kale is going to be pretty strong late game. So they have the free agents have the late game for sure. Pass it back to you.
Go ahead, Acolyte. I know you want to speak your piece on some of this team comp of what Tom said. What you got for me?
Just echoing what Tom said right there. Lee Sin being that high pressure, high gank jungle right there. Twisted Fate having the point and click lockdown stun. Going to try to push that wave and use the ultimate to get the Volibear ahead, keep the Kale down. Kale very susceptible to tower dives pre-level 6. Even after level 6, if they're able to kite out the abilities, well, I mean, Volibear can disable the turret. Kale ults, so turret comes back offline. Once Kale ults down, they break tower aggro, then they come back in. So Grizzly Gaming are going to have their hands full with execution, but as long as they execute correctly, it's going to be a very hard first 10, 15 minutes for them to endure.
100%. As far as me goes, not the rap group, but as far as
I love Migos, man.
Oh yeah, don't we all? But as far as what I was thinking is definitely same thing. I'm truly interested to see how free agents is going to go ahead and play though. Are they going to go full aggressive? Or are they actually gonna like try to end early game as quick as possible? You know, try to nullify some of that early game pressure on Lee Sin. Is Al Charlie Al gonna actually rotate and roam around with GXT to try to shut him down? I'm talking about as far as like their play styles as not champions, but as far as like the players' play style. You know, El also gonna try to go aggressive. Is Al Charlie Al actually gonna sacrifice some pressure on the bot lane to roam around? You know what I'm saying?
And the interesting thing about this, having the Morgana Black Shield, what do they really have on the side of free agents to break that Black Shield? Mong is going to be able to protect his carries very well because the only thing that can really pop the Black Shield is going to be the Vel'Koz damage. Or Kale, if Kale is close enough to pop that Black Shield and get that damage off, then that means Kale might not be in the best position. So the support pick going to be coming in pretty clutch, I believe, for Grizzly Gaming. But it's still, I mean, you never know. Tristana can pop off because of the rocket jumps, but we know that fourth shot from Jhin, a lot of people underestimate that. Jhin is such a strong pick right now, being seen all over the world's playing stage. And as we move into the second round, I think we're going to see more of them.
100%. Here we're getting started. We're gonna go ahead and get into the 3-minute delay. I think that's where we could go ahead and answer some of the stream here. Tom, you want to go ahead and vocalize some things to everybody who they're looking for? GZG or free agents? Who's gonna take it? What do they think?
Yeah, how you guys feeling? I know some people are like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm here to support Alan." What about? And then there's some T4D folks out there. I mean, mostly T4D folks out there.
Shout out to T4D, AOE's best friend.
Who you guys thinking gonna take this? I'm thinking you guys are gonna majority vote for GZG. So I'm pleading for some free agent fans out there, please.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll pass it back to you guys though.
I mean, going back to the previous season, we saw on Animal Control, Chezzy with that team was picking up the Jhin, was pretty consistent with it. He was able to play that supportive role pretty well. So it's not a champion that's necessarily a takeaway from him. Jinlo, I've been seeing him grinding left and right, trying to get his champion pool and his elo up. So there's a lot of work that's been going into this team, and they're definitely something Grizzly Gaming can't underestimate right here. Um, Al Charlie Al on the Brom. He does like his tank champions. We saw that famous Leona outplay during the draft season. I don't know too much about the other cats too much. I know that they're coming in, I believe, this season. If you guys have any insight on them, I'd love to hear it.
As far as GXT, he's actually a Sunnyside High School. I mean, a Sunnyside tournament veteran. He used to play in a couple of those. He did go towards like the later part of it, but nonetheless, he definitely was sought after. He played with a couple of the Fresno State members. I believe he's played with Paper Crusade, Flawless. I can't remember the whole squad that they had, but I know he's played with them. Um, He's returning. He's been playing online tournaments, so he's not shy to the competitive scene. He's not a newcomer to it. And I believe Du Yangu is the top laner for Bullard. Am I correct on that, Tom? Yeah. So he was the top laner for Bullard. Has some synergy with Jinlo there as far as previous play of Fuel member. So they might be new to AOE, but they're definitely not rookies to the competitive scene.
That's good to hear. Bringing that experience to a team that may be lacking a little bit of that competitiveness or that competitive tournament experience. I mean, we've been seeing it all along. Like T4D has been streaming his corn dog games when they've been doing the Zodak tournaments. El Oso, I mean, going up to Oakland to getting that tournament experience, and Hostile Avocado doing the Cal Poly tournaments. So there is a wealth of experience coming from them. One thing that can kind of get in the way is, do they all gel together? Do they have the same kind of play style? Do they have the same idea in mind as far as macro, as far as dives, as who does what? Because we've seen in the past T4D and El Oso, they drafted the team in the first AOE draft, and they were one of the first ones out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So two of the highest rated players in AOE making an early exit. So it just goes to show you, just because you have that high elo on your profile doesn't necessarily mean that's going to translate to competitive wins.
100%. You could not be more right about that, and it's definitely all up to synergy. I think T4D and El Oso have been working on their synergy a lot lately. As far as Hostile Avocado, he has played with El Oso before. I was on the team with them back in season 2, I think it was, all the way back then. And Albase and Mongace, they've been playing with each other for the longest time. So as far as like the synergy goes in their team, they have like little 2-3 man synergies going on. But as far as a whole team collective, that's definitely a big question. I'm not too sure, especially after how Sunnyside JV were collectively able to beat them. We'll see how they go ahead and get it together, though. Starting up here, free agents. Oh, man. 2 back-to-back behemoths. 2 back-to-back strong teams that they were up against with the Boomer Boys and now GZG. So not a easy schedule to start out with. Hopefully their confidence doesn't fade away.
And it's kind of the process of the season. As the season goes along, how are the teams going to improve? Just because someone is doing good week 1 doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be peaking off when we get towards playoff spots.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can count them out just yet. We see a standard 5-point start from everybody. I mean, El Oso's team kind of infamous for their hyper aggressive level 1 invades and fights. So it's kind of peculiar to see them just doing the 5-point. I think maybe after their loss, they're thinking to themselves, okay, you know what? Let's not press it. Let's not get ourselves in the trouble early. You know, we feel like we have the better experience, so let's just make sure that we go even going into lane and not create any unfair or unfavorable matchups early on.
Yeah, I think I can agree with you on half of that, but I think they're just trying to go ahead and not show their cards too quick. The aggression is gonna be there. I predict Lee Sin on the second buff being right next to Olaf. I don't doubt that the aggression is still gonna be there, but as far as a little bit more calculated, I can agree with that. Here we go. Standard starts to both teams.
Yeah, and usually what we see people have the most success with against El Oso is when they actually do a mirrored start. So, like right now, if they're moving the same way, that bottom to top side jungle, that means we're going to see some skirmishing going on. So, Olaf does have that lifesteal in his kit. We'll see if he's going to be able to survive. But, you know, Olaf, very famous for getting low in the jungle and using that to increase his clear speed. But, however, that makes him very susceptible to the execution style Lee Sin Q that we all know and love, the Lee Syndrome.
100%. The matchup that I'm thinking is kind of interesting that I don't think we harped on too much on was the TF versus Vel'Koz in the mid lane. That's gonna be a little interesting only because all the range is to Jinlo and they both don't have escapes. One has a little bit more of a easier setup as far as ganks go. So we'll see how well they play towards their mid lane. I'm pretty sure they're both going to be a little bit more towards mid lane focus, especially since Hostile Avocado likes to be that split pusher, likes to be away from the action and do his own thing, you know?
Yeah, but look at what we saw here. Olaf trying to go for that full clear and ends up having his red buff stolen away from him, not getting that early ward down. And look at this. It's 2:30 to 3 minutes. That's usually when junglers get their ganks off. Jinlo lands a very good skill shot to put a little bit of damage down back onto the Oso right here. But meanwhile, in the top lane, we see Hostile Avocado going forward, and we miss the axe right here. He's getting the damage down. Here comes the shield for Hostile Avocado. It comes in.
Ooh.
He lands first blood, and a 1v2 right here. We see Kale trying to kite out the damage. And is it going to happen? He takes him down. Buff transfer complete. And that means Kale is gone their way to that hyperscaling. But here comes El Oso. He does the shield pop. Doing goo underneath the tower. So they're not going to be able to do much. What a 1-for-1 trade at the very beginning.
Yeah, that definitely definitely was a scary sight. I thought it was going to be Hostile Avocado with 2 kills. That would have been the free agent's worst nightmare there. You definitely don't want a Volibear gaining all those defensive stacks. And oh, look at this, Mongace and Albase going aggressive.
Yeah, Al doing a good job of tanking that root for Chezzy. He does have the hop to get away, but he still does eat quite a bit of damage right here as Albase able to return some fire. And they see Olaf. Such a classic El Oso tactic right here. Find the jungler and calls his team over to help him push him out. Really putting that pressure on early on the free agents.
Yeah, free agents are doing a good job though, not falling for any of these tricks. They definitely saw it coming. As far as this though, I don't know how they're gonna be able to respond to this other than trying to catch out El Oso. Oh, look at this! Charlie out flash.
Yeah, we see a huge damage right here. A huge fight popping off. We see a 4v4. Albase going forward. Exhaust landed onto Chezzy right here. Can he take him down? Press the attack. Is procced, but they use the heal to move away. No deaths going down right here, but we're going to see Vel'Koz poking from afar. Is a little bit low on mana. Gets a little bit of damage down, but it looks like Grizzly Gaming just going to take their victory, get in the Summoner Cells, and back away.
Yeah, I know some's bot lane definitely detrimental, and Albase actually still has the flash and heal. And look at this, El Oso's back. He doesn't want to let go of the Grom.
And they just keep fighting on it. Vel'Koz over here once again, and we see T4D pushing him into tower right here. So Vel'Koz going to lose quite a bit of experience. We see the big damage right here, the big fight. Albase going forward is able to pop Chezzy and take him down. He knew the heal and the flash summoner spells were down and able to take advantage of it. Meanwhile, here comes GZG. He gets caught out, forced to flash away as well. And rocket jumping all over the place is Albase. That man is hyphy tonight.
100%, especially with Tristana getting those resets on the rocket jumps. We hope to see a lot of aggressive hop-ins. I think free agents 100% should have just let it go there. The waves were definitely not in their favor. They already had wasted sub. Oh, look at this though in the top lane. Oh.
Yeah, huge damage. He's able to proc that the Volibear shield. What he does is he puts it down. He stuns Duyungu, so that way he can't get out of it. He's forced to eat the entire damage. And look at this. Being forced off of his wave, not even level 6, and trying to look at the experience, just hits it right here, so he's a little bit safer from a tower dive. He knew a lot of the action was going on bot side, so he's a little bit more free to step up and take some experience back for himself.
I think free agent's best bet is actually to avoid El Oso's aggressiveness, avoid El Oso's I don't think it's cheese, but just unorthodox playstyle where it's hyper aggressive. I mean, all lanes were like level 4 and they were going in there. Oh, T4D though, creeping.
Yeah, not even using ult. He just walks up there, locks in the gold card. Duyungu trying to get away. He is stunned, and here comes the lair. He puts the ultimate out, puts some damage on the hostile avocado. He takes a turret shot. Doesn't put the ult in the right spot, so far, unsuccessful gank. Ooh, the wild cards are a little wild right there.
Nah, living by the skin of his teeth. Hostile Avocado, I think he was gonna be. I think he was trying to calculate that they were gonna be able to melt him before even needing to do the tower dive. Unfortunately, though, the ultimate was unaccounted for, and Diango was able to walk away from that.
Yeah, just not quite able to burst him down before he gets that ultimate off. And El Oso on the bottom side of the map, I'm not sure if they spotted Olaf here on the back, but they're able to take this dragon pretty much uncontested with all of that pressure they're putting on the bot lane.
Yep. That's a pretty early drag. I believe so, right? It got taken onto the 7 minutes 30 seconds. Ocean is always needed, and look at this, Monk Ace, nice roam over to Jinlo. Oh!
Yeah, T4D pops the ghost, goes forward. He uses the barrier to protect himself from some damage. He's trying to answer back onto the Morgana, getting the damage on. Here comes the true damage. Jinlo takes him down in the 1v2.
Yo, mad kudos to Jinlo. He went ahead and took a sticky situation. You know, he had them nice Nikes on his feet. Was able to avoid the snare, and I thought the barrier was used a little too early, but it looked like he was trying to go ahead and respond with it, and Jinlo picks up a kill from Among Ace Roam.
And something that's kind of, when you think about it, there is very low mobility in terms of the Twisted Fate and the Morgana. When they go into the mid lane, when Vel'Koz opens up, they can't jump away, they can't rocket jump away. They used all of their CC in terms of the root and the gold card, so there was nothing stopping that Vel'Koz from unleashing on them. Very good recognition from Jinlo right there to take down the gank and turn it into his own favor.
Oh man, free agents, they are answering back to this aggressiveness that GZG has. I wonder how they're gonna be able to solidify their stance or their lead. I'm speaking of GZG. I wonder how they're gonna be able to hold on to that lead and solidify their stance. Oh, look at this! Ooh, in the bot lane.
Yeah, in the bot lane, the exhaust going down onto Chezzy right there. They're not able to finish him off. Chezzy able to land the root, but is able to escape by the skin of his teeth. And just look at this level disparity. We have a level 6 Tristana to Chezzy's level 5, not even level 6 yet, level 4 Braum.
Ooh,
and down Flame Horizon CS. Look in the top lane, we have GXT does find El Oso, forces the flash out of him as well. And here comes Hostile Avocado, zoning him off of getting his wave. And they're still looking to fight right here. They want to dance. Hostile Avocado goes forward, lands the stun, and here comes the TF. Oh, it looks like it wasn't communicated very well. Lands the gold card, but not a lot going down onto them. We see the Sonic Wave onto. There goes the tower dive, but here comes the ultimate. So many ultimates coming out. And they get taken down. Hostile Avocado drawing the turret aggro does have the HP to tank it up. And what looked like it wasn't going to be a very successful dive at the beginning turns into a very nice win for Grizzlies.
Yeah, they were able to take both at the same time. They spread their damage evenly and were able to take both of the kills as soon as Voldabear's ultimate nullifying the turret was able to expire. And here we go, the Rift Herald. And on top of that, Diango lost so much CS during that skirmish. Oh, and he pops the teleport. A little iffy.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they were trying to get the tower there or if they just wanted to use the Rift Herald to get the plates. Chezzy's standing a little too close to his turret and does eat the E damage from the Tristana here. And right now, the pressure all over the map is just overwhelming the free agents.
Yeah, Charlie Owl also hurting in the XP department. Only level 5 to already a level 6 Morgana. It's not gonna help out. It's not gonna help anything in the bot lane. Ooh, what's Albase gonna buy? He already has the BF sword. Is he waiting for?
It's gotta be the Stormrazor, no?
See?
Oh, he goes for boots.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be an Infinity Edge rush from Alb Ace. After completing the boots, loving the attack speed. He's just looking to keep getting those auto attacks off on the enemy team, especially with that press the attack. The attack speed does synergize very well with it.
Oof. I saw Avocado looking a little aggressive up in the top lane as well. And T4D's wave management has been pretty solid, but Jinlo's not too far behind on CS. And look at this in the top lane, a gank from El Oso.
Yeah, puts down the ward and gets the insect off. He's going to die to the true damage smite. And that's what we said. We wanted to keep the Kale down so that way the Volibear gets ahead. They want to snowball the lead. And that's the win condition, right? You don't let the scaling comp scale.
No, you don't. Looks like in the bot lane too, Al Charlie Al actually got caught out roaming in the river. Had to flash away. That was a little scary sight as well for free agents and applying that much more pressure onto the map. I'm trying to think.
Grizzly Gaming.
Oh, go ahead.
Grizzly Gaming is just so on point with all of their timers in terms of dragons, in terms of Rift Herald, in terms of their plates. Just everything about them right now is just in sync. Grizzly Gaming looking pretty clean.
Oh, look at this! Hostile Avocado gets caught up from his aggressiveness and is able to teleport right on out of there.
That's interesting myself. I was looking at the mid lane. I saw Vel'Koz trying to pull the 1v2 into the Morgana yet again, but we see damage going on to Chezzy, the immobile AD carry. And if you do not have high mobility, you have to be super aware of your positioning. And unfortunately, just steps into the wrong spot. It's so easy for something like a Lee Sin or Tristana to just hop on top of you and make your life miserable.
Yeah, 100%. As you were saying, as you were complimenting GZG as far as the rotation, their objective control, the way they're able to just swarm the map. I'm wondering to myself, what is free agents thinking? Are they going to start moving as a wolf pack and try to bait GZG's aggressiveness? Because they're not really moving as a whole team. They're kind of going 1-2 man. They're kind of just invading with like 1 or 2 men. Oh, look at this! Oh, GXT having to flash away.
Yeah, gets caught up. Morgana doesn't see where the rest of the team was, so he uses the flash to get out. And you're just going to start seeing Grizzly Gaming choke him out right here. If you are the free agents, you need to be a little bit more proactive with your plays. You need to go to the side of the map where you don't think there's going to be a ward, and you just got to find some way to pick them off as they're setting up their play. Charlie Al does get caught out with the binding and the gold card. Eventually, he goes down. GXD, a little ways to get there. He finishes his red buff, but he's able to answer a kill. Chezzy lands the 4th shot, but also still just a little too tanky with his shields, and he's able to survive it. Jinlo limping away right now, but El Oso is on the hunt. Chezzy stepping up forward. He puts down the auto attack, and he's trying to bait him into it. El Oso not taking the bait. They're just going to play this a little bit slower. You see them going up to the kill right here. Volibear ult is online. They're going forward. Kale pops the ult prematurely right here, and here we go. The tower, it is disabled, and here comes some big damage onto Kale. El Oso dominating 6-0-1 right now on that Lee Sin.
Jeez. Yeah, that was definitely expected. Diangu should have just left that turret completely alone. It looks like he's really, really trying to salvage these turrets, but at this point, I think you got to just let him go and see who's late to the party. Right there, 3 men were over there on the top lane. Who was it? It was Albase, Hostile Avocado, and T4D. They should have looked for probably Mongace or T4D. Yeah, Mongace towards the back. T4D, was he there at the top lane? No, right? I think they should have looked for them towards the back part.
T4D was kind of just hovering in the mid lane, I believe. But, I mean, in terms of this, they're just letting Grizzly Gaming come in and set up. I mean, we know the Rift Herald's up right now. Dragon isn't up for a substantial amount of time, so they're just setting up all their vision up here. So what GXT is doing right now, he's going into the bottom lane and he's trying to take away as many camps as he can to try to keep this wave somewhat even. But really what the important part is to get the timers up. If they're able to set up a play on the bottom side of the map, transitioning between the Rift Herald and the Dragon and pick someone off, that might be their entryway back into the game.
They definitely have nice pick potential. Oh, here on to Monk Ace, but T4D, he is lurking. Chezzy able to dodge the snare. Oh.
Chezzy just not afraid of all at T4D. He does not have the flash to go over. Also goes forward and gets the kick onto Al Charlie Al, but it's not going to be enough to take him down. And they're going to use this Rift. Great stopwatch from Al Charlie Al. He almost dies. The heal saves him. Alberto coming in clutch right there with that heal.
Alpace, what a friend. Wasted the heal to hyper aggressive El Oso. Almost got caught out with the stopwatch trick. Well done by Al Charlie Al. Would have been another highlight reel right there in a support video.
And that's something that you can do for Grizzly Gaming. You just capitalize on that hyper aggression using things like the stopwatch, like the summoner spells. You want to bait them into making bad decisions, and right there, very, very well executed play right there from R3M5. Also, you got to give kudos to Chezzy for stepping up and taking the Morgana, missing 2 of their black or dark bindings, so they weren't able to get away from Chezzy. Just being a little too overconfident right there. They need to put some respect on their free agents, so that way they don't throw this game. It is a 6,000 gold lead, so it would be quite the throw if it were to happen.
Yeah. Gale getting that much stronger, hitting level 11. The Rift Herald does confirm the top turret, though. They are bleeding out quite heavily.
And we see the objective timers right now. Dragon coming up in 15 seconds. It would be the 3rd dragon right here. Among Ace comes around, lands the Dark Binding onto R3M5. The shield is up, but is going to be enough to save him. He flashes away, burns the ultimate to stop T4D from landing the gold card. But going to be forced to limp away right here as Grizzly Gaming aims to take down this mid tower, rotate to Dragon. And so how are free agents going to respond? Are they just going to let them push in? That's what it looks like. This is where we want to see the proactive plays. You have to keep them, catch them when they're transitioning from one to the other.
100%, but I think R3M5 jumping into his team with that with that Tristana E, his explosive charge definitely didn't help out. It spread out so much damage upon free agents, and nice free mountain drag for GZG.
Oh, you see the pings. Albase on the way right here. Uses the jump right away. Big damage traded. Dangu trying to answer it. Forces the flash out of Albase right there. And there goes the ultimate from Vel'Koz, but not able to get a kill. And a little too aggressive coming out of Grizzly Gaming. It looks like they're trying to... limit testing, right? Is that what we call it?
Limit testing, 100%. That's limit testing. But free agents is showing that they're definitely not going to give up here.
Lolly Bear flash stun onto Chezzy, and he's doing really well to maneuver himself around. But T4D is able to pick up the kill, and they complete the tower dive. Hostile Avocado just taking all the damage right here, and here it goes. There goes a shutdown, big shutdown onto Vel'Koz, and T4D taking a lot of damage. Not going to be able to take it. And here comes the root, the Dark Binding onto the Vel'Koz. El Oso insects away. Jinlo forced to flash, but El Oso finishes the kill, and he gets taken down by the Olaf. It is a very chaotic dive right here. GXT going forward, trying to wave clear, not pushing onto the Tristana, who has 250 HP. Kind of a botched dive right there.
Yeah, but they're so ahead that it ends up turning out into their favor anyways. You know, Chezzy did the most he could, you know, used his fancy feet, danced around the Dark Binding. El Oso was getting into a sticky situation. Volibear's ultimate, though, was able to stop one turret from hitting him, enabling them to just power dive that much longer. GXT coming a little late to the party, but nonetheless was still able to take down El Oso.
Yeah, I just want to commend Jinlo right now for his Vel'Koz play. He was able to land that clutch shutdown onto El Oso right there. And if there's someone that you want 1,000 gold on, I mean, if it's not the kill, I think Vel'Koz is your next best bet because he has such a long range. He's able to poke down the team of Grizzly Gaming. They don't really have the sustain necessary to weather all the Vel'Koz poke. So we'll see if he can position himself adequately to keep this pressure going.
Looks like they're trying to get all the Baron control here. Trying to pick off Mongaze. Doesn't work though.
Oh, he takes it. The shield goes down, and also follows up. Oh, look at that. The safeguard forward, and Al pops them both over. There goes the support right there. Chezzy in a bad spot right here. We talked that positioning so crucial. Jinlo tries to put down some damage and auto-attacks himself back into the middle of Grizzly Gaming. So unfortunate for the free agents.
Yeah, you gotta keep track of that mouse. I think that's where maybe Osu would help out right there. Shout out to the AOE Osu. But that's definitely Baron for them. Too many went down. 3 on the side of GZG. Let's see if GXT could go ahead and look for a steal.
Yeah, the Olaf still doesn't have the flash. He really has no way in here. So what's he going to do? How is he going to get out of it? We see, Hostile Avocado jumps over with the ultimate, forced to path the Ragnarok onto the Olaf, but he falls down before the Baron is even finished. Grizzly Gaming running away with this match.
Yeah, it's looking extremely grim for free agents. I don't know where they could go ahead and take back take back this game, other than maybe just hoping they're able to drag out this game a little bit longer. Let's see, Kale. Ooh, El Oso going a bit aggressive onto Al Charlie Al again. I think I think at this point they got to go ahead and just roam as a group. They're just roaming in twos and threes, and it's not working out for free agents. GZG definitely is going aggressive with just one or two as well. Their team is able to come in and rotate on time to finish up kills. There's small windows for free agents, but we'll see if they can. Now Charlie Alley is extremely low on health. It is half, but he's so underleveled. He's just doesn't have the resistances to really dance around in the and be frontline for free agents. Jinlo doing a good job, trying to poke GZG. Uh-oh. D4D already has the top turret. Kale and Braum there, allowing more pressure to the mid and bot turret of free agents. Oh, mid inhibitor turret goes down as well. I think that's 2 turrets. They need to go ahead and commit like this. They're just bleeding out. Oh man, mid inhibitor goes down. Top inhibitor, I believe, goes down as well. At the same time, all that's left is bot, but at this point, it's a little too late. Chezzy getting chunked out. Oh man. Oh, Hostile Avocado using his ultimate just to go ahead and confirm the bot inhibitor. That's 3 inhibitors off of one shove. Free agents looks like they're a deer stuck in front of headlights. What is it? Oh man,
Yeah, deer in front of headlights right there. We see Chezzy unleashing the ultimate right there, but it is too little too late. The curtain call not going to be able to save their base, and Olympus has fallen right now.
Oh,
they
man.
just have their base is just absolutely in shambles right here as Grizzly Gaming leaves right here to pick up the Dragon Soul, the mountain, to make sure that they are certainly unkillable. They're probably going to go back, buy their final item upgrades, and then they're just going to run down with the super minions and take the Nexus.
Yeah, I think free agents should have just hard committed to one side and picked their poison. I think T4D would have been their best bet, to be honest. Oh man, they definitely look like they were trying to salvage too much. They're too behind. They should have fully committed onto one side, but at the same time, they don't have much engage if Al Charlie Al doesn't really land his slow or his ultimate.
And that's kind of what you want to see from. That's what Grizzly Gaming does to teams. They pick these really chaotic, they spread you out super thin, and they force you to make a decision. And it makes it really hard for the teams to respond to them. So well played to them. Meanwhile, though, I saw Chezzy basically eat the gold card, the combo from Twisted Fate. If you're... Oh, here we go. We see Kale ultimate onto Al Charlie Al, forced to go onto someone that's not a carry. Mm-hmm. And again, that bomb putting some damage down onto the team. They're doing their best to wave clear, but... Oh, Kale having to flash away from the flash binding. And look at this, just flashes everywhere. They're trying to finish the game. Hostile Avocado takes down the Kale. Jinlo falls as well, and it looks like free agents are going to be resigned to their Nexus. GXC going forward, trying to wave cover. Look at the damage from T4D. They're just going to focus on the Nexus right here. They're not going too crazy. Maybe I spoke a little too soon. They all go for it. They take down Chezzy on the fountain. And GXC flashes away, is able to keep his life, but cannot keep the Nexus up as Grizzly Gaming takes down their first match against the free agents.
Oh man, free agents! Kudos to them, really trying to salvage it. But it looked like they were trying to they were playing too much defense, where they should have played a little bit of offense. Oh, it's so hard to watch because I've definitely been in the same situation where you're just kind of too scared to fully commit because one wrong move. They're so ahead that one wrong move by free agents ends the game even quicker. But at the same time, would you rather watch your Nexus go down, or would you rather actually fight to save it? You know what I mean? Live to see it go down, or die to save it, type of situation.
Yeah, and Grizzly Gaming, they're not the type of team that will kind of let you farm back into the game. They will do everything. They're just such a hyper-aggressive team. So you need to capitalize on that. You need to set up maybe a death bush in one part, or you need to just hyper-engage onto one team or maybe another team. But I just gotta say, Grizzly Gaming, they knew their comp, they knew their tower dive, they knew who their weak spots were, and they just went after it. I mean, Alb Ace, well, look at that. How many games do you see where Alb Ace only gets 1 kill? But that wasn't his job that game. That wasn't what Grizzly Gaming needed to do. They knew that they had to shut down the scalers, they knew to put down the pressure, and that's something for all of our lower elo viewers are watching right now. You don't need the kill. The game ends when the Nexus is over. The game could go 0-0, but as long as all the towers are gone and there's no more Nexus, that's how you win the game. And I think that's really important that we saw from Grizzly Gaming is they put so much focus on the objectives, playing around the Volibear ultimate, playing around the high mobility, playing around the lockdown. They just utilize their team comp so well. And that's a scary comp I don't want to see out of Grizzly Gaming when we play them eventually. I believe we play them tomorrow.
That's gonna be a good game as well. It's gonna see who's really the strong team. I mean, Boomer Boys, you guys went ahead and took down the Sunnyside JV. Kind of easy, I want to say. It was you guys were definitely heavily favored throughout the whole match. You guys definitely had the lead throughout the whole match. But like I said before, I think GZG just kind of started on a weird kind of started a little weird as far as trying out new things. Definitely sorry about that.
Yeah,
I'm fixing up player of the game, but I was just finishing up with they definitely wasted too much.
They just didn't play to their strengths.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, they put. I mean, this isn't to harp on anyone or to dog any player, but when you look at this roster and you think about, okay, what is their play style? What do they like to do? T4D likes to be a little bit more supportive, and they put him on a hyper aggressive Lucian pick. We see Albase loves to out 80 carry everybody, and they put him on a Cassiopeia. Hostile Avocado loves the outplay and loves to draw pressure and loves to just create all this chaos. And while Ornn does create chaos and is a little bit of a lane bully, that's just something that's a little bit out of the norm for Hostile Avocado. So while they tried to play these champions in a competitive match and you commend them for it, it still doesn't mean that they're a weak team by losing to someone that they were expected to beat, because the season is a little bit longer and because we know that really where it matters is when we get to the playoffs. And I think by that time, Grizzly Gaming has shown the aptitude in order to get this nice and solid and wrapped up to where they might be able to flex that.
Yeah, and just go ahead and remind everybody, player of the game has been posted on the chat. Go ahead and vote. I'll give it about 5 minutes. We have some we have some time to spare before the other match goes underway. Who do you think was a player of the game there? It kind of looked like everyone was had a nice lead. Everyone made plays. Everyone advanced the game that much more for their team. But I'm interested to think who you think got player of the game.
I have to put it to El Oso for this game just because he has highest kills participation on his team. You saw that he caused so much chaos in the bot lane. He called everyone over to him, and he was able to make these plays work. And when you see these skirmishes happen in the jungle pre minute 10, even pre minute 5, it looked like at one point, you really got to give it to the jungler in that case because he's able to call those plays. The tower dives onto the Kale. It was just really good overall from El Oso. That's why he gets my player of the game for this game.
Well said, well said. I think I would have to go ahead and say the same thing. El Oso, player of the game. Oh man, it's hard to see free agents play against two of the strongest teams in AOE. I hope they don't lose confidence, especially since it is a double round robin. They do play them twice. Oh man, just a tough start. That's all it is. They got a little bit of a softer schedule per se. I'm not too sure though, because Sunnyside JV versus Sunnyside Varsity is up next, and we'll see who's the better Sunnyside team. Let's see if JV gets promoted.
Yeah, it's like who's going to be the A team? It's Samsung White versus Samsung Blue. I'm not. two different organizations right there. But I mean, that's kind of your goal, right? When you're in the varsity JV, every JV player wants to say, "I earned my spot on varsity right here." So they have a lot to play for. They want to get to be the number one person. If they have that competitive drive inside of them. So I really want to see the JV kids come out swinging. I know they've prepared a lot of stuff. Their team fighting is actually one of the cleanest team fights in all of AOE that I've seen so far from all the teams that we've screamed and whatnot. Scrimmed, not screamed. They made us scream a few times, but so without leaking too much information, I just got to say, you know, don't count the JV team out. I mean, we've seen them take down the best of the best. I mean, even if they're on their off rules, they're still great players, right? They still have
Yeah.
great macro. They still make great decisions. But you don't do that just out of luck and draft alone. You still have to have some level of skill, and you still have to execute your comp. And they've shown that they can do that.
Yeah, definitely. And a interesting thing I noticed on the first game against GZG was the windows that they created off of their just rotations. They started punishing El Oso in his own jungle, and that's kind of interesting to see because usually when teams have the lead, I don't see them really open up their own windows without an objective. You know what I mean? They literally killed El Oso for taking his Krugs. That's something you don't really see with the high school teams and some of the, I guess, the lower ELO teams. Um, Definitely was surprised to see Sunnyside JV do that. And it looks like the winner of player of the game is El Oso. We'll go ahead and give him a player of the game for this round.